Hey, what's good, people, man? It's the Health and Wellness Dread, aka the Platinum Bearded Dread, the dig it. Question, man. Who are you? No, really though, who are you? Who am I, man? Take a longer look in the mirror, yeah, and ask yourself the question, who am I? Trust me, man, it can be a little scary if you really just stare in that mirror and ask yourself the question, who am I? It's also one of the most important questions that we could ask. And be given the answers to 99% of our problems, man. Think about it, yeah. You're not your job. You're not your sex. You're not your role. You're not your race or culture. You're not even your religion, man. Because all those things fade away. But who are you? Who am I? And like I said, it's one of those questions that most of us either don't ask, or we don't think about asking. And we just go about our day on autopilot, as it were. And sometimes, for many of us, we can be playing a role that we think is us. And that becomes who we think that we are. So we just play out that role. But we never take the time to draw back from the madness of the world and just think, wait a minute, man. Let's slow this down and let's try and get to the center of who I really am. Just like a gifted watchmaker who puts all the components together and then puts it in a box, and it gives you the instructions how to keep it, as long as possible, and how to work it and what means what. If we've all been given a creator, then somewhere along the line, we've lost that connection. So we've taken on everything outside of us, everything from culture to family to media, social media, everything. And we've become more and more distant from who we potentially are. And also the success of what we could be. Everything that points to who we are is drowned out by the noise of this world. And so we just take that as that, well, this is what it is. I remember when my children were born, and I watched them literally come out, one foot first, wrinkly little blue foot first. But anyway, I watched them slowly adapt to this world. At the very beginning, everything was exciting. You could put a hand in front of them. They would stare at that hand for ages, and when you put the hand behind their back, as far as they're concerned, it's disappeared. Everything was amazing. And then get to toddler age where they had their little toys, and even then they're still in their own little world of make-believe, which is lovely to watch, man. And then as they get into slightly older, you start to see the influence of phones and iPads and all of that, until they get into the teens, and you can see how everything that they've absorbed from this world has made them to a degree who they are. And it's something that it's one thing to see it in yourself at an adult age, but it's completely another thing to watch it happening stage by stage by stage, because then you can see how after a while the noise of this world has drowned out who we really are. And the results are painful, man, because that's part of the reason why you hear some really sad stories. Suicide, self-harming, all these things that drive people into the deepest place of desperation, which leads on to doing desperate acts. And the sad part of this is that because we can't hear that quiet voice that has always been there, that made us, that created us, gave us our blueprint, if you like. Because we can't hear it because of all the noise, not only do we doubt ourselves, but we end up thinking that this is it, this is how it's supposed to be. But I want to offer up something for all of us, because it's just not me talking to you, it's us. Because it's never too late to draw back and say, wait a minute, man. Because even if you look at religion, I never knock religion because I see religion as part of the journey to who you are. I don't see that as the end result though. The problem is that when we see that as the end result and the only means of transportation to get there, that's when you get into all of this religious gang banging, as they call it. Mine is better than yours, and you know what I mean? But if we see that as part of the journey to get to ultimately the Creator, because that's what we want. We want the Creator, that's where we want, basically we want to go home. Because we came from, we want to return while we're still here and here. So that should be the goal for every individual, and the answer to who we really are, not how you got there, but where you trying to go, man. And it's never too late to try to draw back and say, who am I? What can I do to get closer to who am I? And I would offer up a couple of things. The first thing I would say is spend time in solitude, man, on your own. Because think about it, we came in this world on our own. Even if we don't remember that experience in the womb, while we were growing, there was just us and the essence of the Creator who made us. That's all there was. So we have to get used to being on our own, spending alone time. For some people it comes naturally. I mean, I like being on my own a lot, but we have to get used to that, because then it can still that madness a little bit and give us more access to that quiet voice that never shouts. So spending time on your own. I would also say reflecting. While you're on your own, just reflect. Just reflect. Just reflect on the full spectrum of your life, past and present. Just reflect on it without any judgment. Just reflect on it. I would also say spend time in nature, because sometimes that can reboot us. Like even when I go on holiday and I spend time not by the sea or just by the sun. Spend time in nature, because you're not amongst all the madness of the concrete buildings and the cars and the noise. It's more quiet. So spend time in nature. Also spend time with animals if you like animals. If you're an animal person, because they reflect back to us more of what we should be. They're not trying to fit into any world. They're just being, and that's where we're trying to go, to be that which we are. They're reflecting who we were and who we still could be. Fasting is also a good means for those who can manage it, because what it does is it quiets the body. If you've ever fasted, you don't feel as energetic, you haven't got that energy. And it's a good thing, because it calms the body, and the body and mind is connected, so it calms the mind as well. You just don't have the energy to be just all over the top, and the energy is more limited, but then it's more potent, because you're more tuned in. You know what I mean? You're more internally connected, because food has all kinds of mad, crazy influences on us. But when we cut the food down or take it out for a couple of days, you'd be surprised how that energy is used internally as opposed to externally. So fasting is also always a good thing. All these things I've just mentioned, right, they're just ways for you to reconnect to yourself. But most importantly, spend some time on your own. You can ask questions, but just spend some time on your own. Oh yeah, one more I should mention is meditation. Very important. And remember, and I don't mean to get all woo-woo about it, just simply just sitting down in a quiet place, just breathing. Just be mindful of your breathing. I was liking it to an ocean, where the sea goes in and out. That's how I see it. Or a cloud passing. I just have that image in my head. Without no expectations, and just even all the distractions, all the mad thoughts that come in and out, let them come in and out. Just let them do their thing. And I guarantee you, if you take time to do this, you'll start to not just ask questions, but you start seeing things slowly but differently. You begin to be more aware of the noise of this world that so casually just kept you in this autopilot role where you think that's the norm. And things will change. You'll start, even things that interest you will begin to change. And things that, that would aggravate you before, or get you involved in debate and argument, or madness, will begin to change. But anyway, man, let me know your thoughts. Have you ever asked yourself the question, who are you? Who am I? What comes up when you ask that question? How does that make you feel? Have you already started this journey of trying to find out who you are? Jot down your comments here, because I read them all and I always respond, man. It's the Health and Wellness Dread, aka the Platinum Village Dread. And don't forget, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Maybe we can do this again. Share, man.